All right, so not a lot of action there. To the next Northwest team where I'd be shocked if there was not significant action. That's the Utah Jazz. The question for me, for them, it's been the question all year, with some tweaks to it, is like who's expendable? Like where are the keepers and where are the guys that we need to flip for? You name it, more picks, younger players, bad salary coming back with other assets attached. We could just kind of go through. I think obviously, and I think they've said so, and it's intuitive if they haven't. For the Jazz, Walker Kessler going nowhere, Lauri Markkanen going nowhere, maybe Ochai Agbaji also going nowhere, but that's just like a several steps down the keeper
Right.
list behind
The
Kessler.
only untouchables are Lauri Markkanen and Walker Kessler at this point.
And then it's just like, all right, so how high can we drive up the prices on guys that multiple teams are going to want, like Malik Beasley? I think Kelly Olynyk potentially too. Jared Vanderbilt I think Vanderbilt, some people would say, should be in the keeper category. He's kind of on the fence. He's in like a third. Well, let's see what the offers are section.
I've kind of wondered if, like, I don't know if he fits Indiana's motif, but like, would you give up and would you do it if you're Utah? Like, you have the Cleveland and Boston first round picks. Let's say the more favorable of those first round picks. Would you give that up for Jared Vanderbilt? And who says no in that situation?
On the assumption you're going to keep Miles Turner and that's your 5, and you can get away with Vanderbilt at the 4 there.
Well, even if you don't keep Miles Turner, like, you play Jared Vanderbilt at the 5 too. I don't know. They don't seem to understand what they want to do with Isaiah Jackson. Jalen Smith just feels like very much a placeholder for them. I
like Vanderbilt. I actually really like Vanderbilt, but I do think the Vanderbilt Kessler like long-term pairing is a little iffy. I would want him with a dead eye. I mean, it made sense with Karl Anthony Towns, for example. It would make sense with Turner. I want him with a big guy who's going to be a perimeter-oriented 5 that also ideally can defend the rim.
There you go, Jalen Smith and Miles Turner. One of them's going to stay in Indy long term, right?
Man, was I wrong on Jalen Smith? So yeah, I just go looking through it. Like, there's a bunch of guys. We've mentioned Conley in the Pacific Division pod we did for the Clippers. He's a little overpaid for what he's doing now, but 14 million is guaranteed next year of the 24. I actually think Colin Sexton might be someone I'd be trying to trade, even though they just inked him on that sign and trade for Mitchell. Beasley for sure. Like, if I'm calling the Grizzlies and it's like, give me Zaire Williams and something else. We know you want Malik Beasley. I'd even look to trade Clarkson. Basically, like, everybody's on the table, and all I want are picks, young lottery ticket guys. John Collins, sure. He costs a bunch of money. Don't care. He's an upside guy. OG Anunoby, let's do it. Warriors, do you want to give me James Wiseman and Moody and whatever? Like, any type like that.
You would take on James Wiseman with Walker Kessler there if you're Utah?
Why not? What are they like?
That's fair.
just on the thinking that we get a year to look at him and we can flip him, we can not resign. Like, Utah's just in this like the ultimate sweet spot where they got a couple really good keeper pieces from those 2 trades. They have all these picks, and they're better now than anybody thought they would be. So, like, let's just continue. Let's not pretend like, we need to think about positions. This is still just asset collection mode. Right. And I think Wiseman and, lots of guys like that.
Who would you, I don't mean to make this about the Warriors. Who would you want?
No,
Jazz from the Warriors. I know. I'm just curious if you were to do that. Like, does Malik Beasley move the needle for you for Golden State?
Probably not. I think actually Kelly Olynyk, even though we just keep saying backup bigs don't really matter, Olynyk would be someone who would make some sense. Like, Vanderbilt, I don't know what you do with Vanderbilt if he's going to play with Looney and Draymond. That's tough. Probably not Mike Conley. Yeah, I don't know if that works. That's just that type of name would be what I'd be looking for.
No, so, I feel like, are they a team that, like, hey, just can you help Philly duck the tax and get Matisse Thybulle?
Sure. The other thing, this is based on nothing, and it just because I like Dyson Daniels. Can we give Olynyk and do the Pels want some picks, and we'll take back Devontae Graham's bad salary? You have to give us Dyson Daniels. Give me all the young guys that maybe the word is not out yet on.
I mean, spoiler alert. I mean, I can mention it won't be this pod, so it'll be on the next pod too. But the trade that I had was Devontae Graham, Herb Jones basically for Malik Beasley, and I think a second-round pick for Malik Beasley. Is that enough? Is Herb Jones, the flyer on Herb Jones, enough to take back 1 year of Devontae Graham and then give up Malik Beasley, who has the team option for next season?
Hell yes.
Oh, it is.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
Herb Jones
The
has
Jazz,
not
yeah.
been healthy or exceptionally good this season. I still think he could be an all-world defender.
Yeah.
I thought it was enough. I was just curious.
Yeah. Same with Daniels. Daniels, I think that there's
Well,
some more
Daniels
shine on Daniels just because the point guard stuff and he's younger and he has not had the down second year that Jones has had so far.
And I think just the, Jones, I think only has one more guaranteed year left on his deal. So I think if you're Utah, you probably need to give up like Malik Beasley and I would think a pick, not like a great pick, but like a pick for Devontae Graham and Tyson Daniels at the very least. I don't think New Orleans would do it.
You got picks to spare, man. Do it.
So you're just give them all your 2023 draft picks or something. And that's the thing with Utah, which makes it tough, which you will see in my trade proposal on them if you care, is they just have so many picks that you don't want to quadruple dip in certain years. They have 3 2023 picks right now, none of which, by the way, depending on what happens with the Timberwolves and the Jazz themselves, might be in the lottery. Yeah. So, it's very bizarre, which makes hammering out trades. I think you can hold out for either like overpays from teams where it's okay. Well, they gave us, we don't necessarily need these picks, but we got so many of them that we just took them.
Right. Yeah, no, I agree. I think whether you're accumulating, it's kind of like just not being at a place where you want to draft for need. Like, I don't care if I take back more picks. I don't care how many of them I have in a certain year. I can trade them on draft night to move up or whatever. Like, or I can, the Thunder face that. We'll get to them shortly. Like, they got like one roster spot open. They're going to have all these picks. Like, somebody's got to go. Who cares? Figure it out then. Just hold on to those picks till then, or just dump them because you can get Daniels. That's the more I talk about it, the more I'm trying to manifest it.
Very quickly, who is your most likely player to be traded for them, Mike Conley or Malik Beasley? I had Conley, but I'm like, as we talk about it, I'm like, I feel like it's Beasley just because he's going to get so much.
It's Beasley for me, just because
I agree.
The team option is so tantalizing on the second year, and because you think about it, whatever you give up for him now, if you just keep him for next year, and you can flip him again, and presumably guys who can shoot a bunch of threes at high volume, high efficiency are just always going to be in demand.
They feel like a team also that could just be, because they have I didn't mention this, they have just 3 significant, and I define significant as more than 5 million traded player exceptions. And so like, they don't even need to, if they're going to have the roster spot or willing to create one, you just take back a player who's not making a crap ton. Like Matisse Thybulle from Philly, or maybe it's you get Thybulle and Korkmaz and you're sending Nickeil Alexander-Walker back. You could do something like that. So that would be something for them to consider. My trade idea for them is they get Grayson Allen, Marjon Beauchamp, and Milwaukee's 2029 first-round pick for Malik Beasley. Maybe there's protections on that pick. It would have to expire immediately.
I mean, I love that for the Jazz just because I get Beauchamp. Like, I might just trade Beasley for him. The money doesn't work. But
so if it was Marjon Beauchamp and Allen and then 4 second-round picks or something, you would do it?
I might, just because, I mean, I guess that presumes that there's not going to be a first round offer for Beasley, which is maybe a mistake. But I think Beauchamp is going to be in the league a long time. And, Allen, I guess, like, there are certain aspects of Grayson Allen that would play well in Utah. We've seen historically. But like, he's still a good shooter that you could flip eventually. I don't know. There's a scenario where, like, if you're talking about trying to move Grayson Allen at the deadline next year, the demand is actually not that different from what it is for Beasley right now. So from an asset perspective, I think, it's not that different. And then I just think Beauchamp is like a viable rotation guy for several years. So I'm kind of with upside too, for sure. So I'm into that, even if I'm not getting a first out of it.
That's interesting. So, and I guess, I mean, he feels you get a player rather than a pick with Joni, but if you can get the 2029 pick, you've only got 3 2029 picks right now between your own Cleveland's and Minnesota's. So,
I mean, isn't Beauchamp your guy?
I assumed Beasley's market was going to be richer. Look, if you're Milwaukee, that's what you offer to me, is you go with the 4 and they can give up first round picks in 27, 28, and 29, I believe. So those aren't nothing if you're trying to hedge against their long-term future.
Yeah.
That's the offer you go in with, is those plus Beauchamp for Beasley. Is that enough when he has another year left on his deal? It was just my.
Yeah, I don't know. I like it. I like it more. I don't know why I like it so much. I think I'm surprised I'm the one that's having a cape for Beauchamp. I thought you were just that was your guy in the
I'm
draft.
high on him. I just don't know. I guess I was basing it on the other offers that I thought would be out there, and maybe I'm misevaluating the market and also just like the extra year left on Grayson Allen's deal to reunite with him. And I think George Hill needs to be a part of this trade too. But if anyone cares. So it's like you get into some like weird roster spot lingo that you would need to figure out, because I don't think, you need to have, so it'd be like a 3-for-1, or you can give back Milwaukee like a super cheap player and you could still make it work, like a, Azubuike or Palermo, I think might still be. But it seems rich from Milwaukee's perspective. If I'm Utah, that's probably what I'm asking for, though.
Yeah, I could see it.